Hello everyone, and welcome to my broadcast. Actually, this is the second one in a row this week. I guess I'm in an especially talkative mood. Well, I guess I just have a lot to share because this academic year, has started, and there's so many impressions and thoughts on everything. So today I'm going to talk about new web. It's not new, but a website that I've started using just a month ago. It's called TED Talks. So what is TED Talks? Well, first of all, the website address is www.ted.com. This website provides us with a variety of subjects, and each subject is covered by professionals who talk about their research in the field, present certain data, sometimes present experiments. It's extremely interesting. All the talks are short, they're up to 15 minutes. So when I found this resource, I was overwhelmed with excitement because now I can actually create lesson plans just based on TED Talks. I just pick the subject that interests me, and it could be anything. Let's just open the menu and see. Okay, there's technology, entertainment, design, business, science, global issues. So depending on what interests myself and my students, I pick a subject, I pick a presentation. I usually prefer finding something up to 5 minutes, but if I can, I find just any video and split it into blocks. Now, how do I prepare a lesson plan based on TED Talks? Let's have a look. Well, usually I start the lesson with explaining that we're going to listen to a short lecture, and the students have to take notes. Now, the first stage of is note taking. Note taking. The second stage after note taking is discussion. We discuss what we heard, what we just heard, how we understood this presentation. After the discussion, I ask my students to prepare a story. I ask them to read the notes, maybe listen to the video again, and get ready to presenting this topic themselves. So they have to learn how to present. Presentation based on notes. So the notes have to be good enough to be able to present. This takes a while, but in the end, they usually are happy to present the topic. Then the next stage of the lesson is actually presenting. The students present and I am the listener. So what I do, what I like doing, I always ask my students if they're comfortable with that. I like recording my students with a phone, and then we have the video to for feedback. This is what it's a very powerful tool. Students sometimes feel a little bit shy to be recorded. However, once they understand the purpose of recording, they're usually happy to do that. So, presentation and recording. So now I'd like to show you what we have. Here are the notes that my student took while listening to one of the TED Talks about flying robots. It was a very nice presentation. And then, as you can see, the notes are well organized. There are headings, there are points, there are steps. So, based on this short plan, my student was able to record his own presentation. I gave him some conversational expressions in case he's interrupted with a question. He has to be able to handle the interruption. So here are some conversational expressions for that. And then the remarks. How do I give feedback to my students? I don't just say, okay, it was nice, it was good, or not. I usually organize the remarks in a table. Here's a table. I take down the mistakes, I write them down, and I correct them. And then on the right side of the table, I give a short explanation of why this was incorrect. So I divide my feedback into several parts. First of all, overall impression. I say, okay, it was fluent or it was slow. Usually, I prefer to start with something positive. There's usually something positive. There's always something you can, there are always some strong points that you can tell your students about, and then you pass to the mistakes. However, I don't like focusing on mistakes. I just explain them and I say, okay, these are the mistakes. It's clear that it's hard to correct them all at once. So just meditate on them, take them home, and then we re-record the presentation and check if the student was able to correct his or her own mistakes. Okay, so just a second, I just want to write that down here. So note taking, discussion, presentation based on notes, recording, and finally feedback. And that's it. That's quite a rich lesson plan. It takes about an hour and a half to do that on a 5-minute TED Talk. But you can make a course based on TED Talks. I totally recommend this website. It's extremely interesting. It's very rich and professional. So, in case you have any questions, you're welcome to leave your messages here, just down here, and or contact me by email. Have a nice week, and bye bye.